Hello and welcome to the second video for Module N5, and in this one we're going to look at the rules of indices and how we calculate with indices. What does 2 to the power 3 mean? Now we saw this in the last video. 2 to the power 3 just means 2 times 2 times 2, and if you work it out you get the answer 8. Okay, and there it is. 2 to the power 5, what does that mean then? Well, that means we write down 2 5 times and put multiply signs in between. And if you work that out, you get the answer of 32. 2 to the power 5 is 32. So let's have a look at if we multiply two numbers when they're in index form. So what is the value of 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 5? Well, what we could do is work out 2 to the power 3, that's 8. We could work out 2 to the power 5, that's 32. We could multiply them and we get the answer 256. The problem is that just takes too long. Let's try a different way. What is the value of 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 5? Well, 2 to the power 3 has gone green, let's write it that way. 2 to the power 5 has gone green, let's write that bit that way. And then we've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, etc. How many 2's are there? There's loads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 2 to the power of 8. Okay. So 2 to the power 8 is 256. But that takes too long as well. We haven't got time to do all that, have we? We want a quick way. Can you see a quick way? Well, 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 5. From the last one, we worked out that was 2 to the power 8. So can you see what we've done? When we multiply the same number, and that's really important, it's got to be the same number. In index form, we just simply add the indices. We don't multiply the 2 or anything like that, we just write down 2, but we add the indices. Okay, so what's the value of 10 to the power 6 times 10 to the power 3? Well, we've got the same number, so we just write down 10, and the power is 6 add 3, which is 9. Okay, so let's extend this from numbers to letters. Now what is a to the power 9 times a to the power of 11? Well, we've got the same letter, so we're just going to write down a, and we add the indices. A to the power of 20. So let's extend this even more to a to the power m times a to the power n. So we've got the same letter, a, so that's okay, we can use our rules. And we've just got to add the indices. So what do we get then? Well, we add m and n. That's what we get. So a to the power m times a to the power n is a to the power of m plus n. There we go. Let's have a little recap then. So we had that one, 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 5. We added the 3 and the 5. Notice we got the same number for 2, same number there for 10, same letter there, so that gave us a to the power 20, and that gives us a to the power of m plus n, where we add the indices. So when multiplying powers of the same number or letter, we add the powers, or we could call them indices. Excellent. Have a little go at an exercise. Calculate the following and give in your answer in index form. Okay, so you know what to do. Press pause, work out the answers, and press play to check them. Okay, how'd you get on? Well, we've got 2 to the power 5 times 2 to the power 8. We add 5 and 8, 2 to the power 13. Question 2 should be 3 to the power of 6. So trying to confuse you here with number 3, we got 3 things multiplying, but that's okay. We just use our rules of indices, we add the powers. It's 10 to the power of 5 add 4 is 9, add 3 is 12. We've got letters, okay, so we've got x to the power of 14. Another one we've tried to confuse you on here is question 5, where we got 2. In index form, we add the indices. 10 add 0 is 10. There we go. And this one, we're trying to make it tricky with negative numbers. We got the same letter y, add the indices. 14 and minus 5 is 9. Okay, let's extend this a bit further then. What about that one? 2a to the power 5 times 3a to the power 7. Well, we've got 2 things going on. First thing, we got 2 times 3. Well, that's 6. And then we got a to the power 5 times a to the power 7. Well, we know from the first part of this video that is a to the power 12. So actually, putting them together gives us an answer of 6a to the power 12. Okay, let's try another one. What about that one? So we've got number times number. 5 times 4 is 20, and then we do the letters using our rules of indices, t to the power 12. Putting them together gives us an answer of 20t to the power 12. Over to you. Just a little quick exercise, 4 of them to do. You know what to do. Press pause, press play for the answer. Okay, how did that go? So let's have a look at number 1. Well, 3 5s are 15, and if we add the indices, m to the power 7. Number 2, 99b to the power 10. Number 3, 10 12s, 120. Add the indices, 120p to the power of 22. And last, number 4, 2 times 3 is 6, t to the power 5. Okay, let's have a look at division then. So what is 2 to the power 8 divided by 2 to the power 5? Well, let's work it out. 2 to the power 8 is all of that, which we know is 256. 2 to the power 5 is 32. If you divide them, we get an answer of 8. But that takes too long. Let's try a different way. 2 to the power 8, well, that's gone green, so we'll write that bit out. And we'll use a kind of fraction line for the dividing. 2 to the power 5 there. Well, the top is 256, the bottom is 32, and the answer is 8. And that takes too long. What about this way? Let's write out 2 to the power 8. There it is. 2 written down 8 times with the multipliers in between. 2 to the power 5. And we can cross off numbers that are on the top and the bottom. We got a 2 there. We got another 2 in there. Another pair of them to cross off. And one last one. So we're left with 2 times 2 times 2, which in index form is 2 to the power 3. But all that takes a bit long, doesn't it? We want a quick way. Have you spotted the quick way? Well, what we do, as long as we got the same number, when we're dividing two numbers in index form, we simply subtract the indices. 8 minus 5 is 3. When we divide, same number, in index form, we simply subtract the indices. What about that one then? 10 to the power 9 divided by 10 to the power 5. Well, the 10s are the same, so it's going to be 10 to the power of 9 minus 5 is 4. Job done. Okay, let's try and confuse it a bit with letters. We got the same letter, so that's okay. We can use our rule. And the rule is we just subtract the indices. So 23 minus 15, a to the power of 8. So let's have letters to the power of letters. What's our rule again? As long as the letter's the same. Okay, we got an A and an A. So the answer is going to be a to the power of, and then we simply subtract the indices. So it's m take away n is the answer. Excellent. Let's have a little recap. 2 to the power 8 divided by 2 to the power 5. Well, that was 2 to the power 3. We've got 10 to the power 4 there with a letter. As long as the letter is the same, we take 15 from 23. And then in letter form, a to the m divided by a to the n is a to the power of m take away n. So when dividing two powers of the same number or letter, subtract the powers. Excellent. Time for a little exercise. Have a go at those 6 there, giving your answer in index form. Press pause, work them out, press play for the answer. How'd you get on? Number 1, 2 to the power of 9 minus 5 is 4. Number 2, 3 to the power of, so 12 take away 6 is 6. 10 to the power 15 divided by 10 to the power 5 is the same number, so it's going to be 10 to the power of 10. We've got letters now for number 4, x to the power of 5. What about this one? 2 to the power 10 divided by 2 to the power 0. Well, the same number 2, so we got 2 to the power of, and 10 minus 0 is 10. Bit of a trick question there. And then trying to confuse you with letters, it hasn't worked, is it? You can do this, y to the power of b minus a. Excellent. Now we've got some little fiddly bits to tidy up, and then we can have the final exercise. What does 2 to the power 0 mean? Now this is just a definition in maths. We're not even going to try and visualize what it means. We're just going to know that funny old thing there, 2 to the power 0. It's not 2 degrees, okay, it's 2 to the power of 0 equals 1. What about 10 to the power 0? Yep, that's also 1. In fact, anything to the power 0 is 1. So what if we had a to the power 0? Yep, that's 1. Okay, and they often slip that in the exam, something to the power 0. We just got to remember, anything to the power 0 is 1. What about that 2 to the power 1? Well, that just means 2. Okay, so what if we had 10 to the power 1? That would just be 10. And what if we had a to the power 1? Well, that would just be a. Okay, so that's everything. Let's finish off with this exercise. You know what to do. Press pause, work them out, press play when you want the answers. Okay, how did it go? 5 to the power 0. Did we trick you? No, no chance. Anything to the power 0 is 1. 174,452 to the power 0 is 1. 23 to the power 1, well, that's just 23. So let's have a look at question 2. So the first two, A and B, we're just doing simple multiplications with our rules of indices. So we've got 3 to the power of 8 at 7 is 15. And then B, we've got 15 to the power of 25. We've got numbers and powers and letters for C and D. So 4 5s is 20 for C, x to the power of 9. And D, well, there's a little trick there really. There is a number in front of k. It's really 1, but we don't write 1k to the power 6. We just write k to the power 6. So strictly speaking, we're doing 12 times 1 is 12. And then k to the power 7 times k to the power 6 is k to the power 13. Over to E and F now for some divisions. 8 to the power of 4. And this one, 76 to the power of, well, 23 minus 21 is 2. Now, we didn't really go through these in the video, but you know what to do. Divide numbers by numbers, letters by letters. So for that first one, G, 24 divided by 3 is 8. P to the power 8 divided by P to the power 5 is P to the power 3. So the answer is 8P to the power 3. And on H, 8 divided by 1, because M to the power 4 is really just 1M to the power 4, but we don't write the 1, is 8. And then when we got the M's, M to the power 5 divided by M to the power 4 is M to the power of 1, and M to the power 1 is just M. So our answer is 8M. If you get any wrong, go back and make sure you can do them. And that's it. So before we go, let's just have a little final recap. So when we are multiplying two powers of the same number or letter, we add the powers. 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 5, 2 to the power 8. And there it is with letters. And when we're dividing two powers of the same number or letter, we subtract the powers. So there we do it with a number, and there it is with a letter. And just remember, anything to the power 0 is 1, and anything to the power 1 is just itself. Well, that's it. That's the end of N5. So it's bye from me, and hopefully speak to you on N6. Bye for now.